welcome. Now, the new AmaZulu king is set to start his official duties today. King Misuzulu Zulu was named to take over the throne by his late mother, Queen Mantfombi Zulu. The government is preparing for the king's coronation in KwaZulu-Natal, and at Kwanongoma in the palace at this hour is Pamandla Goke, who's been following the developments there. Pamandla, good afternoon. At 1 o'clock, we were talking and we crossed to you just as Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi Mntwana wakwaPhindangene was finishing his briefing with the media. But we understand that King Misuzulu Zulu has already begun his duties, and one of the people that he is met with is the Premier of KwaZulu-Natal, Sihle Zikalala.
Indeed, and that meeting was very crucial simply because for the king to be coronated, there has to be a process which is led by government. So from here, the premier of the province, after receiving the minutes from the Zulu Royal household, will take those minutes to the National Minister of COGTA, who will then forward that application, if we can call it that, to the presidency for the king's certificate of recognition to be signed by the president, and then after that he can be coronated. Remember that traditional leaders, kings and queens in South Africa, are regarded as public representatives, so the government needs to undertake that process of recognizing anyone who serves on the throne, and then the paperwork has begun. The meeting between the king and the premier was to address those matters, but also remember tomorrow is the presentation of the budget for the Zulu Royal household. In the past, King Goodwill Zwelithini Kabheka Zulu used to be allocated, together with the Royal House, 71 million rand per year. Tomorrow is the presentation of that budget for the Zulu Royal household. Will they keep it at 71 million rand per year? Will they review it? Well, we'll have to wait and find out tomorrow, but the king had to discuss that matter of the funding of the Zulu Royal household, as well as the issue of the paperwork, which will lead to him being formally recognized before he can be coronated, because traditionally and culturally he's already serving on the throne. He has received a salutation, but there are government processes to be followed. So Premier Sihle Zikalala came here to discuss that matter, and also was the issue of the king's protection and security. There was confusion about whether police were withdrawn from Kwakhangela Mankengane Royal Palace. As we speak, I can tell you that the Provincial Commissioner of Police in KwaZulu-Natal, General Ntatla Mkhwanazi, is inside the palace meeting with the king, discussing that issue of the police and the king's protection. But listen to the Premier of KwaZulu-Natal, Sihle Zikalala.
I'm here as a premier, and the ANC government is the government that governs even him, Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi. He is in KwaZulu-Natal. When we offer services, we must give services to all people, irrespective of which party they belong to. But more importantly, with the Royal House, we need to continue supporting the Royal House as it has been happening. The issue of meddling with the issues, there is nothing that we've done to interfere on issues of the Royal House. We deal with the issues of the Royal House with respect, and whenever there are issues that pertain to the Royal House, you would have noticed it's not us who goes to the media, but we deal with those issues with the Royal House, and we will continue to do so, because administratively the Royal House falls under the Premier's office. The issue of the budget is an administrative process that is being done, which already it has been finalized, and we will present it tomorrow. It is in line with the State of the Province address.
Okay, well, those are the government processes, Pamandla, that have to take place. At 1 o'clock, just after I read the headlines at the beginning of the midday view, we cross live to where you are in the palace there, Kwakhangela Mankengane, and we had Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi just ending a briefing. Can you tell us, what did he tell you?
Tomorrow at 10 o'clock, there is a meeting between the Zulu Royal family members. That meeting has been asked for by the late king's siblings, that is Prince Mbonisi as well as Princess Thembi. They want to address certain matters. Remember when the Queen departed, there was a group that was called the Royal Rebels, which had a different view when it comes to the issues of succession. They were asking for meetings to discuss issues of succession. They were pushing for the announcement of the new king to be put on hold. They were saying, let us undertake a period in the process of mourning. After that, there has to be a meeting of the royal family to discuss the issue of succession. But remember, when that will was read out on Friday after the Queen's interment, and then there was that chaos inside Wakangela Mankengane Royal Palace. The meeting is as a result of what transpired last week Friday, but they are going to iron out differences. Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi is telling us that they are hoping to smoke a peace pipe, if we were to quote him directly. That's what he said. So the meeting is set to basically iron out whatever differences may exist within the Zulu royal family and within the Zulu royal family members as a whole. That meeting is very crucial because divisions were deep before the internment of the Queen. Since the King's departure, divisions had always been there, and tomorrow is an opportunity to bury those differences and to smoke the peace pipe, as Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi puts it. Let me tell you that also present here today was Jerome Ngwenya. Jerome Ngwenya is very significant and important when it comes to matters of the Royal House because he is the chairperson of the Ingonyama Trust Board. Now remember, Ingonyama is looking after the land in KwaZulu-Natal. If my memory serves me well, more than 2.8 million hectares of land, and the only signatory there is the king. Now, it was important for Jerome Ngwenya to meet with the new king to discuss matters of the Ingonyama Trust Board, and the term of office of the interim board is coming to an end, by the way. So the new king, together with Jerome Ngwenya, they will need to meet with the national minister responsible for agriculture and land to appoint a new board. So the king was seized with that matter as we speak today. I also spotted Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebana, the public protector, who came here to pay her respects following the demise of the late Queen Regent.
Okay, so there are lots of issues there, and I understand that besides being the only signatory, the only trustee of Ingonyama Trust is Isilo Samabandla. It's the king himself. Is there any idea? Is the king there, the one arriving there now behind you? Is that King Misuzulu arriving? I heard the salutations there off Bayete, and I saw a group of people moving behind you, Spamandla. But be that as it may, do we know, let's go back to the meeting tomorrow, do we know who's going to be attending that meeting exactly? Are all the princes and the princesses, including the one who stood up at that meeting when the will of the departed queen was read at the end, will he be there as well tomorrow?
Those people who are walking in, they are coming here to basically meet with the king. The king is already inside meeting with the Commissioner of Police in KwaZulu-Natal, General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. Tomorrow's meeting will be attended by members of the Zulu royal family. That question about Prince Thokozani, whether he will attend or not, Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi was very dismissive there. He said, well, I don't know whether he will attend. I don't know who invited him. In fact, I only saw him for the first time last week Friday when he stood up and wanted to say something. After that, he ran away. Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi downplaying Thokozani's influence and presence here, saying he doesn't know whether he will attend or not, but it was very clear that nobody invited him. So we don't know whether he will attend or not, but there are those who are saying, well, all members of the royal family should attend. We'll have to wait and see tomorrow whether Thokozani will come and attend this meeting. The meeting will consist of royal family members from various houses of the royal household. Remember, there are more than 200 royals, but not all of them will be here. Each and every house will be represented by one or two princes or princesses. They will be part of that meeting. We also understand that the reigning king's siblings will be part of that meeting. Traditional Prime Minister Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi himself will be part of that meeting, together with Prince Mbonisi, the late king's brother, and Princess Thembi, the late king's sister. So those are the people who will attend tomorrow's meeting, and we understand that the king himself will be there before heading to Swaziland. By the way, today he's been very busy after sending a delegation to Newcastle to go and pay lobola for him, and then we understand that the new queen, or Undlunkulu Musha Wesilo, might be attending tomorrow's meeting. After that, on Friday, she will accompany the king to Eswatini, where the new king will meet with King Mswati III prepared and collect his belongings to come back and continue with his royal duties in KwaNongoma.
A lot of activity there. Thank you very much, Pamandla Koke, for bringing us up to speed here on the Midday View about the latest goings on in the AmaZulu Royal household.